Hi, my name is ColdBeer and let's start with Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. Let me start with the fact that this is an incredible game truly inspired by the Elder Scrolls franchise and especially Morrowind. I played it as a mage and I really enjoyed it. The spells I casted looked and felt really good. That's because developers added a few tricks that make you actually feel the impact of your spells. Time slightly slows and the sound effect is awesome as well. Also, for any new player I would recommend playing as a summoner. You'll find some items that will let you summon skeletons and other creatures. Just use them and improve your summoning skills. When I played it for the first time, I didn't realize that I can have like 3 skeletons at the same time. And boy oh boy, after I found this trick, that changed my power level unimaginably. Although I made a hero that was a glass cannon. In other words, if anyone even slightly touched me, even with a tip of a dick, I died. But I don't know, I have liked this type of build since my ancient days playing World of Warcraft, where as a sneaky glass cannon warlock I had so much fun in the battlegrounds. Keep in mind that the Fall of Avalon is not AAA kind of game, so the visuals may not invoke your admiration all the time. And although the developers are calling the Fall of Avalon an indie project, it's actually AA plus kind of game. The devs are rich and they pour a good amount of money into the Fall of Avalon, so I can assure you that this is the next best thing after the Elder Scrolls. But keep in mind that the game is really grim. The narrative is dark, the world is creepy, way creepier than the creepiest places of Elder Scrolls. Don't buy it for your 12-year-old son or daughter if you want them to, develop normally. Play it yourself. It's absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. It's awesome. Lightyear Frontier. Here you land on a beautiful, vibrant planet and have to find your mech. Yeah, here you and your machine are almost inseparable. All the building, walking around and exploring is being done by you controlling this huge, a bit sentient mech, who sometimes makes a funny comment or two. Reminds me of Riftbreaker. One of the coolest things here, I think, is visuals. I rarely see this kind of polish in these kinds of games, and this beauty can be immortalized by the game's photo mode. Yeah, some serious AAA games quite often get a full release version without photo mode available, and here you can take wonderful pictures of yourself whenever you want. So basically this is a crafting and building game, so you have to roam around with your mech and collect various resources, then convert those resources into some machines, buildings or anything you like. Although this game is not only about mech upgrading, crafting and building, the exploration part is here as well. Not as big as I would want it to be, but when I played it, I found some dungeons where I couldn't go with my mech, so I had to leave my machine in order to squeeze myself into tight places. That is a nice touch. If you like these crafting games, there is a huge chance that you will like this one as well. Here, obviously, you will become Batman. The game comes with the introduction of the Batmobile and enhancements to signature features, such as free-flow combat, stealth, forensics and navigation. The main feature, the Batmobile, is brought to life with an original design featuring a distinct visual appearance and a full range of high-tech gadgetry. It is designed to be fully drivable throughout the game world and capable of transformation from high-speed pursuit mode to military-grade battle mode. Vehicle sits at the heart of the game's design and allows you to race the streets at high speeds and catch most dangerous villains. Batmobile also augments your abilities in every aspect, from navigation and forensics to combat and puzzle solving. People on Steam are saying that Arkham Knight looks better than most games today and is immensely fun. The reviews are around 90%. The game is great. Revenge of the Savage Planet. The first part of the game was loved by many, and the second one is a proud owner of a very positive review score as well. Here, across multiple planets and myriad challenges, you will be tasked with exploring and understanding these strange alien worlds. You will find plants to scan, creatures to capture, lakes to swim, caves to spelunk, mountains to climb, upgrades to craft, potato salad to make, and hundreds of secrets to uncover. You can play the game alone or in co-op mode with your best friend, mother-in-law, or with, I don't know who you keep in your basement. I don't judge. Subscribe. Anyway, here 4 large worlds await you, each with their own weird and sometimes dangerous plants and creatures. And yeah, you'll have to capture dozens of strange animals and monsters and store them in pens near your habitat. People who play the first part are complaining about the third-person mode instead of the first, but in general still applying positive reviews. So you are in good hands here. Darkwood. If you could imagine a Lovecraftian forest with all the horrors in it, Darkwood checks all the marks. It is heavily inspired by, for example, Color Out of Space, and even has some Easter eggs in this field. When I played it, I felt that creators probably took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King as well, who is himself a fan of Lovecraft, and you can feel the influence in many of his novels, starting from madness-infusing Shining to the horrors of the unknown in The Mist. So the Darkwood makes you feel that you are trying to survive in one of these stories. Creepy monsters, inhabitants, and ever-changing woods surround you every step. By day you collect resources and explore the area, but by night you must barricade yourself in a safe place because various beasts of horror will try to make you, less alive. So every night is a battle for survival, and every day is another chance to make your fortress stronger. Story is great, the gameplay is great, and the game is simply a must-play. Coral Island. Here you will leave the big city life and business in Pokio Metropolis and start a new life on Coral Island. Sounds like a thing most of us would want in reality, until you realize that farms like that are smelly and filled with creepy crawlers everywhere you look. Nearby grocery store is 20 kilometers away and your toilet is clogged beyond repair until the Monday, because the plumber is drinking vodka and the only thing he can fix right now is his soberness. So let us enjoy games like that through the safety glass of our monitors, without all the smell and spiders. So here you'll create the idyllic farm of your dreams, where you will tend crops, nurture animals and build bond with the natural world around you. You will revitalize the nearby town and its surrounding coral reefs, and forge relationships with a community of more than 70 fellow people who call Coral Island home. The game has very positive reviews on Steam and is probably one of the best things you can try if you like farming and life sim games. Beyond the Steel Sky. Here you play as a dude who is on a mission to bring an abducted child back home. The search has led you to a Union City, one of the last remaining megacities in the world ravaged by wars and political meltdown. The facade of this place is almost utopic. Altruistic AI rules the city, providing people with comfort and care. But as always, dark secrets are brewing in the underbelly. So basically this is a comic book where you make the decisions of the main protagonist and shape the story with your actions. Dark conspiracies, humor and a cyberpunk city under total surveillance is what you will encounter during your adventures. The game has a very positive review score on Steam and people are saying that you will love the game if you are a fan of slow pace, puzzles and intense point-and-click action. Laysara, Summit Kingdom. It is a real-time strategy city builder colony sim with pause, meaning that you can issue commands while eating delicious potato salad without any stress. So here during a campaign or sandbox playthrough, you will establish multiple towns, each on a unique mountain with its own traits. Each mountain also comes with a new set of challenges. They differ in shapes, vegetation zone layouts, resource availability and weather conditions. One of the ever-present dangers you will have to deal with are mighty avalanches. You can't stop them, obviously, but you can take precautions and be prepared. Afforest the key areas to create natural barriers, build artificial ones to redirect rushing masses of snow, or trigger the avalanche early while it's still manageable. That is a really dangerous activity and it will put you on your toes. So when I said that you can play it without any stress, I lied.
Vampyr.
Guess, who are you going to be in this game? A doctor, and I am not even joking. Of course, you will be a vampire here as well. These are difficult times, no one can survive having only one profession. You are not that evil here, but you can choose to kill or rather devour good people and get stronger in the process. You will have to fight against vampire hunters, undead and other supernatural creatures with your own supernatural abilities. People on Steam really enjoy this game's atmosphere, music and voice acting as well. The only thing the game lacks is the freedom. While they provide you with many choices, but when you think about it, they don't really matter that much. Terra Nil. This is a game about transforming a barren, lifeless landscape into a thriving, vibrant ColdBeeristan. Here you will turn dead soil into fertile grassland, clean polluted oceans, plant sprawling forests, and create the ideal habitat for animals to call home. You will use advanced eco-technology to purify the soil, creating plains, wetlands, rainforests, beaches, wildflowers, and so on. Then efficiently recycle everything you've built, leaving the environment pristine for its new animal inhabitants. buttons. The landscapes are procedurally generated, so no two playthroughs will ever be the same. They may look the same, feel the same and play the same, but they won't be the same. That's the beauty of procedural generation with a spoon of salty irony. So here you'll enjoy lush, hand-painted environments, relaxing music and an atmospheric ambient soundscape. It is a wonderful game with a very positive review score on Steam. Into the Breach. This simple-looking game is actually an officially recognized masterpiece. It has won Best Strategy Game title at the Game Awards. It was announced as a Game of the Year by PC Gamer, and on Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews left by thousands of people. So here the remnants of human civilization are threatened by enormous creatures breeding beneath the earth, and all hope is in your hands. You must control powerful mechs from the future to hold off this alien threat, and each attempt to save the world presents a new randomly generated challenge. Basically, the game throws a different strategic puzzle at you every time and you have to solve it, and that is somehow really fun to do. Just make sure you like both puzzles and strategy games, because it is quite challenging, and if your brain is smooth, you may want to play some other game instead. Don't ask why I know this. 8-bit Hordes. Basically, this is a Warcraft if it would be made using the Minecraft engine. You'll find two factions, the Dark Orcs and their undead friends versus those annoying humans, dwarves, elves and all that puny stuff in general. You will collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of evil or, you know, pathetic good, and ultimately crush your opponents, or be crushed by them. Game offers 24 offline campaign missions, 12 co-op missions to play with your friends and 10 multiplayer maps that support up to 8 trolls online, literally and figuratively. Although honestly, you will never see 8 players online. I'm not even talking about this amount of players in multiplayer, so if you want some player versus player battles, you're gonna need a friend. But don't worry, AI is present as well. It has multiple difficulty options, also it can play in a team with you or destroy you. It is quite capable of doing that, believe you me. 8-bit Hordes is easy to understand and is user-friendly in general. If you like RTS games, there is no doubt that you may like this one as well. The Medium. Concept is simple. Here you exist in the physical world and in the spirit plane, and you have to interact in both of those. You will have to use your psychic abilities to solve puzzles spanning both worlds, uncover deeply disturbing secrets and survive encounters with a maw, a monster born from an unspeakable tragedy. Sounds grim and a bit scary. Also, the whole concept reminds me of a Silent Hill, although in there you weren't in control of world switching. In a matter of fact, no sane person would ever go to that other world of Silent Hill by choice, so the Medium's concept is more like Shadow's Awakening, but in different genre. The world of the game has been invented and designed under the inspiration of Zdzislaw Beksinski's paintings, as almost every horror game these days. So Beksinski was a Polish dystopian surrealist with a sad life story. He obviously wasn't a fan of airy fairy unicorn rainbows, but rather he saw a grim mirror of our reality and reflected his imagination on his disturbing but very cool paintings. Hellslave. An interesting game for the fans of Darkest Dungeon. Here the world is coming to an end and humanity is on the brink of extinction. A very original and innovative plot never heard before. So you will have to save humanity from a demon invasion by making a pact with the devil and praising one of 6 demons to avoid humanity's demise into darkness. You will have to use your newly acquired demonic power against the invaders, but it may have a bigger impact on you than you thought. You'll customize your character around a passive skill tree, discover and experiment with dozens of traits and demonic powers. Also find great synergies between skills and achieve destructible combos to send your adversaries back to hell, or just to hell if they were never in hell before. You know, just to make things clear. People on Steam are saying that the game has an amazing art style, dark and gritty theme and amazing first act, but it lacks polish and may become a bit boring over time. Despite that, the price is quite nice, and if you are a fan of these dungeon crawlers, it may be a good game for you to try. Atomfall. The studio behind legendary Sniper Elite and Aliens vs Predator games decided to develop a survival action game inspired by real-life events. Atomfall is set 5 years after the Windscale nuclear disaster in northern England. Yeah, like most of us, I have never heard of it. So, long story short, in 1957 one of the nuclear reactors of Windscale site, that wasn't a power plant but a part of the British atomic bomb project, and produced weapons-grade plutonium, caught fire fire. So in the aftermath, a huge chunk of the country was affected by radiation and around 200 unlucky people died of cancer. So that's the real story. In the game you will explore the fictional quarantine zone around the aforementioned windscale. You will scavenge, craft, barter, fight and talk your way through a British countryside filled with bizarre characters, mysticism, cults and rogue government agencies. People are saying that this is Stalker, Fallout, Bioshock and Prey 1. Sounds good to me. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day and, subscribe or something. Bye.
Subscribe to ColdBeer.